Hello everyone, Seraphin here, welcome back for more Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. When I last left you guys, we had just finished up Chapter 15, the evil Scorched Sand Desert level. And we would be moving on to Chapter 16 today. That would be taking place over here at Renee Castle. I know, right? The first time we get to go back there since the beginning of the game. However, we'll be taking a slight detour. I want to show off the Skirmish system on the map here, and I also want to get a little extra experience for some of our lower level people. So people who are very much behind the curve here, mostly Erica and Ephraim, strangely enough, as well as Franz is a little lower than I'd like him to be. So we have a couple of enemies on the map here. We have a Bone Walker down over here in the Atlas Plains. He's more than likely going to be quite low level, however, given that he's on the track of the beginning areas of the game. This Mogul up here is slightly higher level, I imagine. It doesn't tell you what the levels are specifically, but generally speaking, the later of a chapter map they are sitting on, the stronger they are. So we're going to go for this Mogul up here. This is a big level, the plateau, I recognize that. However, I think we'll be able to get through it just fine. So we are going to move on up here. I have my equipment all taken care of. Went ahead and sold quite a bit of things because I realized with the advent of this new shop at Johanna Hall, we had the ability to buy a lot more stuff. And there's also a lot of things from previous armories and shops that I can buy that I don't need any longer. And if I need to rebuy them for any reason, I have the silver card now. So selling stuff is really, there's no reason not to sell stuff you can just buy again. Because you get as much money as you paid in for selling it, so... At any rate, we're going to go ahead and jump into this skirmish right here. And these skirmishes will periodically respawn between missions that you do. So, if you just reset the game, they'll be exactly where they were. Alright, so this functions similarly to what we saw with the Tower of Valny, except I do have the opportunity to save beforehand. There's not multiple floors or anything, it's just one battle. Let's take a quick look at the board here. Oh, it appears to be a Fog of War map. That's unusual. So sometimes this will happen. Even though this map, when we initially played it, was not a Fog of War map, sometimes when you come back to it later on, it does change up some of the mechanics of the battlefield. So you will see the ballistae are still here, however, from the previous incarnation. Well, some of them are. All of the towns are ruined, so there's no way to go back and get more gear or anything like that, or more goodies. The forts are still here, but other than that, there's the one ballista. I guess there's another one up here. There's a couple up here, yeah. So the boss, I believe, is up in this area somewhere. You notice we start on the opposite end of the board here. Now let's go ahead and get our units picked up. We don't need anybody who's close to leveling. Well, maybe we'll bring Garrick, maybe. We don't need anybody who's already promoted, certainly. We'll bring Rennick in case there's stuff to steal. We definitely want to bring Mulder because we need to get him leveled up. We want to bring Ephraim. And, you know what? Why don't we bring Namie so she can use the ballistae too, just in case. I think that'll do it. And then Rennick can also see further in the fog, so that'll be helpful. He retains that benefit from being a thief. Even if he wasn't. Well, I guess the only way to get a rogue is to start out as a thief, so yeah. At any rate, we've got our team pretty much decked out. I'm probably going to swap this Restore Staff for a Torch Staff. Which I don't know that... I think I might have actually already sold those. That's alright, we'll make do without. And I probably could have bought some more equipment, but that's beside the point. We're going to put Rennick out in front so I know where stuff is. And we're going to want Erica to be near the front as well as Ephraim. The nice thing about these skirmish maps is that nobody's force deployed. You can even leave your lords behind if you want. And that also allows you to reorganize them in any position you'd like. So we're going to put him over here. We will have La Rochelle hang back for the most part. Same with Franz. He's okay. He's just not as high as high as levels I'd like him to be. So we'll go ahead and I'm not going to bother saving. But we'll jump right into this skirmish. This shouldn't take us too long. This will be a little side distraction until we get to the next chapter. So Ephraim will run over here immediately and clock this guy in the face with a javelin. Now, Ephraim, I think, is level 15. Erica is 14. These guys are not terribly high level. It'll just be a little extra training that they need, and certainly Erica especially, because she's not even A rank with swords yet. Her stats are just abysmal compared to what they should be. Ephraim is literally eclipsing her in every possible area right now. And that includes resistance and luck and speed and everything like that. The only thing he doesn't beat her on is HP, and it's only because we gave her the angelic robe. And he's only beaten her, or she's only beaten him by a couple of points, so. Erica needs some love right now, unfortunately, so we're going to bump her up here. I didn't bother to check if these guys have anything to steal. Probably should have did that before I laid into one of them. We'll move Rennick up here so I can see a little further. Another bow guy up there. And we can barely take this guy down with an iron sword. I did give Erica the Shamshir in case she runs into a situation where she will want to crit more. Since Joshua will not be needing it, at least not yet. I will send Franz up with Erica to provide some fire support, and Garrick will go with Ephraim. And then each will get a healer. We'll send Mulder with this party over here. We'll send La Rochelle up that way. And Amy can go this way too. So again, this is just, you're not going to see necessarily the exact same situation when you play through on one of these skirmishes. They're pretty much randomized every time. The board is the same. Obviously, the map is the same, but the enemy distribution, their weaponry, that kind of deal is all random. So no two skirmishes necessarily are exactly alike. The same applies to the Tower of Valney. The floors are all laid out the same. The enemy positioning is all the same, but sometimes they're different. Their equipment can vary from one situation to the next, so there's a lot of variation when it comes to all of these monster battle situations. So I guess that keeps it a little bit fresh in regards to what you're going to experience. Some of you might care about that, some of you maybe less. And I don't want La Rochelle getting hit here, so I'm going to put Franz right next to her so the spiders don't go for her. And I'm actually going to dance for her because I gave her a barrier staff. Now that I have the ability to buy those, which is fantastic, and I can use the excess turns I have to get her some more experience as well. Which is never a bad thing, in my opinion. We're going to send Rennick up this way. I'm more concerned about Erica's party than I am Ephraim's. Simply because Ephraim is capable of handling himself in most every facet. Garrick with the completely unnecessary critical hit. I wouldn't mind getting him up to level 20 and promoting him. I'm going to say it's not the highest on my priority list, but we'll give him the Killer Lance to use against the Bale there. We'll keep naming in the back here. I'm actually going to start using... I have a barrier staff on Mulder as well. We'll keep using him. Because I want to try to get him to a Bishop. He's going to be invaluable in later monster chapters. So Mulder the Boulder is back, ladies and gentlemen, for the time being at any rate. Unless he proves to be useless again, but I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the case. Bishops are very much, I'm not going to say a necessity for later chapters, but they're very, very nice to have, so. Oh geez, that's a lot of damage. That's very, very unfortunate. I forgot sometimes those bales will have sharp claws. Those things hurt like heck too, as you just saw. And Ephraim actually will need a crit here to kill this thing in one round, which he does not get. Because, go figure. Why should he get a crit when he needs to have a crit? It's not like it ever happens for any of my other units, at any rate. We'll just have Ephraim finish this thing off. We'll use the Killer Lance, why not, just for unnecessary reasons. That'll put it down to an even 10 uses. I don't know why that's a big deal to me. Don't ask questions, I guess, is what I'm trying to suggest, but I just like numbers to be nice and rounded and even, and I'm really picky about it. At any rate, so Nami's getting close to that ballista, which is cool. We're going to have Erica finish off these two bales here. She can do it with an iron sword on this one, but she's going to need a little more extra punching power for the other. Well, that's a lie. She can do it with an iron sword as well, but if she gets hit, she's going to be in a bad way, so we're going to have to be careful. Skill, speed, luck, defense. I would have preferred some more strength. I've already fed her 2 energy rings. The fact that I've had to do that at all is pathetic. She's gotten 3 strength level ups her entire career so far, and she has a 50% growth in it. Or like 45 or something. It's a lot bigger than you would think. And she should be making better use of that, and she's not, and it's really irritating. Let's put it that way. Alright, we'll dance for her one more time. And then I can move Rennick up here as well, and he can help us see a little further. Yeah, we'll just finish this guy out. Well, Yeah, we'll finish him off with the Iron Sword. That's fine. If she gets hit, it won't kill her. It'll hurt, but it won't kill her. Yeah, Erica's actually got very good growths across the board, but the fact that she's not been getting any growths in anything is incredibly irksome, and I'm annoyed by it. So, there's that. At any rate, moving on. Like I said, I'm going to try to get Erica to a usable position between now and the next chapter. Come on, would you please crit, Ephraim? There he goes. Need a little bit of encouragement sometimes, apparently. Now, it's possible there could be some Entombed in there or something on this map. That would be nice, because that'll be a nice chunk of experience points. Oh boy, we have gargoyles flying in. It's never any fun. Thankfully, La Rochelle's resistance is fantastic, and she takes nothing from that thing. We can have... Well, I guess we can't necessarily have Franz take that thing out, because he's not strong enough. Or not fast enough, I should say. And we'll have Erica take down Mr. Evil Eye here. He must not be all that powerful, considering Erica's resistance is not spectacular, and she's still in the next 2 from him, so... That being said, we are going to want to move her out of the way here. Let me barrier up Erica real quick. Oh, that could be why, too. I also have her barriered up. I completely forgot about that. And then we're going to position Franz... We'll put Rennek up here. We'll put Franz right here, so we can run interference. Barrier up Tethys for unnecessary reasons. Those gargoyles should go for Erica. Magic, luck, defense, resistance. Interesting, interesting. I cannot wait until she's combat usable. That'll be a very welcome change. Alright, we'll start moving up Ephraim here. He's going to run into a Tarvos, it looks like. Or we could let Garrick do it. I'll give him his Regan Life to use. This is a situation where I had not planned to move ahead very far, so we'll see how this goes. Neither one of them is in danger, really. Garrick's certainly not. He's just too darn fast and too tanky. And Ephraim, as we can see here, is plenty capable of handling himself as well, so that's not too big of a deal. Franz is going to take on Mr. Poison Spider-Man. He's not a man at all, he's just a giant freaking spider. Iron Lance prevents him from landing a killing blow, but that's a nice softening up for someone else to kill. This guy's going for Rennek for some reason. Yet another softening up blow from Rennek here. It's kind of interesting how rogues attack. It looks kind of like they're slapping someone with their knife almost. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Ow. Well, there's the crit that I didn't know I needed, but thank you, Ephraim. That'll put him to level 16, I believe. More strength, defense, resistance. Perfect. Couldn't ask for a better level up. Well, I guess you could. I would have preferred a perfect level up, but since nobody's perfect, that one's going to go for Tethys, as is tradition. So this is a little bit of a sticky situation that we're going to have to find our way out of. Oh, that could have been really bad. But thankfully, because the Tarvos count as mounted, the Regan Life utterly destroys them. Alright, now you guys are just getting annoying. Or as Captain Malcolm Reynolds would say, there's just an acre of you fellas, isn't there? It'll come as no surprise to any of you that I'm a Firefly fan, and if that shocks you somehow, then I don't know what to tell you. Alright, we'll move Erica up here so she can remove the threat of this spider. She can do it in a single swipe too, which is nice, so why don't we let her do that. Again, the goal here is to get her leveled up as much as possible, so why don't we dance for her, as a matter of fact. The more kills I can get in a succession, the better. Tethys gets a nice level up there. Let me take out this gargoyle fella here. The Shamshir should give her the punch she needs, assuming she can crit. Which she does not yet. Well, maybe she'll get on the second one. We'll see. Nope. No, she does not. Really needed her to kill something there, and she didn't do it. Don't know what I was expecting, but let's heal her up real quick, and then I can move Franz in for a kill. This is going to be a little messy for a minute until I get everybody thinned out, so... Oh, we're definitely taking care of the Killer Lance guy. We don't need any of that crap lying around. Thankfully, Franz is capable of holding his own. Most Cavaliers are. He's not turning out quite like a typical Cavalier, which in some ways is weird, in other ways I don't mind. And we'll put Rennick in the way here just so he doesn't get attacked anymore. Oh, there's another Tarvos coming up. Why don't we get a heal staff on Ephraim here? Probably could have barriered with Molder last turn, but I completely forgot about it. Move Naomi up here, and move Ephraim up a little further. Along with his trusty buddy, Garrick. Hey, this is where we found Garrick, actually. Go figure. And I was hoping that wasn't going to happen because poison is a massive pain in my butt. I think La Rochelle's still got that restore staff, so we might be okay. Poison, I'm sure I've talked about a couple of times, is just incredibly irritating. It's not, like, particularly life-threatening or anything. I've never lost a unit to poison, at least not that I can recall. It's incredibly unlikely that somebody dies to poison, so... It simply does not have the damage output... I'll say what I got in poison anyway. It does not have the damage output required to take somebody down, basically speaking. That Tarvos hasn't moved yet. Does he not have enough movement to get to Rennick over here? No, he does. He's just not moving. That's odd. Alright, so why don't we have... she does have a restore staff. Perfect. So we will restore Franz's poison away. We don't need any of that. And then I'll have him take down this gargoyle that Erica was incapable of killing. Assuming he can hit him. If I miss twice in 88, this game is rigged. Okay, good. I would hate to have had to complain about the game being rigged. Anyway. I suppose I didn't have to complain about it, but... And Erica will dispatch with this bale here. No problem. Not getting a whole heck of a lot of experience, but you take what you can get. And you'll dance for her and have her take out the archer. The bone walker, so to speak. Now, if I can get Erica and or Ephraim to a decent level 17 or 18, that would be ideal. And I'll feel a little more confident about going into the next chapter with them. As it stands, like I said, Erica's stats are just a little shaky. Ephraim's doing fine. I'm very happy with how he's turning out, so... there is a Revenant, speaking of which. I suppose we don't necessarily need to have Naomi around, but... She will be good practice for Molder to use his barrier staff on. And get some extra experience out of. Never a bad thing for that. You might need to use might need to save a use of the hammer and staff for Ephraim's lance. This is the only Regan life you get, and it's just far too valuable not to keep around. Arguably one of the best personal weapons in the game, along with the Wolf Bale from FE7 that Hector gets. The rapier is okay. It's just it lacks the punch in the, I guess, quote-unquote intimidation factor of the other two. A rapier is just not all that scary, and I know that doesn't matter to these monsters and generic unit enemies that willfully throw themselves at it, but it's just one of those things that annoys me a little bit. And here we have Rennick, thankfully, who is pathetically weak and can't kill anything in one round, so... I never thought I'd be thankful for that, but it comes in handy when you're trying to train other units. Now, this would have been a situation where having her rapier equipped would have been fantastic. She won't need it for that particular Tarvos, but the other one she can definitely make use of it with. Alright, we're starting to thin the herd out. It's not going to be too much longer, I don't think. Why don't we take that one down first with a rapier straight to his face. Actually, are they both hurt? Yeah, they are. So I don't even need the rapier, I just use my iron sword. You get 2 rapiers throughout the entire course of this game, I think. Maybe a third one, I don't remember, but... You can't buy them after the fact. She needed more speed. Oh my god, strength, thankfully. Okay, this is looking a little better. She still needs some help, so... Like I said, if I can get her to 17 or 18, I'll be happy. Then we can definitely get her topped off in the next chapter. There's a lot of promoted enemies in the next chapter. Lots of experience to go around. We'll have Franz take down this guy just because I'm sick of looking at his face. Erica can have the Bone Walker next turn. In fact, that Bone Walker's probably going to go for somebody, but that's fine. He's not going to kill anyone. That's going to be a B ranking Lances for Franz. That's good. I can start switching over to his sword now, I suppose, as his primary weapon. I want to try to get both of them to A at a reasonable pace. I'm hoping to get at least one of them to A before he promotes, but I don't think that that's going to happen. Does Ephraim need a heal? He really doesn't, so why don't we just Barrier Staff him, in case anything nasty comes out of the shadows. And I'll just puncture him in the face with this Regan Life. Silly spiders. So the boss of this area was a Mogul, as we saw from the board, or the world map. And I think that's going to be up in here somewhere, and that should be a slightly tougher enemy to deal with, as opposed to a rank and file one. At least I'm hoping, because that means more experience points. And that's kind of the reason why we're here. Well, you can end... Oh, geez, that's a Moth Dude. Those things are never any fun. They're just too darn fast. Now there's another Archer Bone Walker coming at us here. Erica's starting to get poked at a little bit. Thankfully she has halfway decent defense, so... Alright, we'll take down the Moth Dude here. What level is she now? 17 or 16? She is 16, alright. Why don't we give her a dance? I think I'll send Franz up and toward the gate up here to see it to lure anything out that's hiding up there. Problem is I don't want to lure out the Moguls if they're up there, so we're going to wait on that for just a minute. And I got to kill this Bone Walker, so... Dispatch with this fellow here. I would have preferred a skirmish map that had some slightly stronger dudes on it, I'm not going to lie, but you take what you can get. I could be endlessly grinding in the Tower of Valny too if I really, really wanted to, but because, as I mentioned, I'm not doing that, there's no point. We'll just go Steel Sword on this guy. Completely unnecessary crit, but it does get double experience points or double weapon experience points. If he kills one more guy, he'll be level 17. I'll be happy with that. Alright, I still don't know where those Moguls are, but we'll move Ephraim up, and Naomi, and Garrick. And just like that, the party's back together. And that should put Mulder up to level 13. Skill, speed, defense. Nice. I'll take some defense on my bishop. It's funny that his defense is lower than his resistance. Whoa, that's some long-range magic there. I think that's Shadow Shot, if I'm not mistaken. Strange, I didn't think any monsters had Shadow Shot in here. Why don't we send Rennick ahead? There's the Moguls right there. I was right, that's a Shadow Shot. So this is just long-range dark magic. It's a lot better than Eclipse, if you ask me. And then we've got a couple of other Moguls here, just rank and file. We can probably send Erica up there. And she'll be alright. We'll barrier her up, just to make sure. And get some more experience points for my favorite lady here. We might as well barrier up Franz while we're at it, since he's going to go up to the top there, in case he gets assaulted by something else. Yep, I'll send him this way. Flush out anything that might be hiding up this direction. Get the twins together here. Barrier up Ephraim, since he's not particularly fragile against magic, but you never know. Not sure why I brought Garrick. There's not enough enemies to go around to get anybody leveled up to a consistent degree, so But I got a few extra levels out of Erica. That's really the important thing. Going into the next chapter, she'll be a lot more competent, in my opinion, so... Yep, silly eyeball magic things. Not exactly a great deal of enjoyment to be had, but... I personally would not be a fan of fighting giant eyeballs in real life, so... I'm going to guess there's nothing up here, otherwise Franz would have found it by now. So it's probably just these 3 chumps that are left. Let's barrier up Tethys, why not? Because we can. That'll be level 14 for La Rochelle, I believe. Magic, speed, luck, perfect. The nice thing about luck is it's the only uncapped stat at level, or as a pre-promoted unit. So she can still go beyond 20 before she promotes. And she most likely will hit at least like 25. Which is ridiculous, because she's going to max out luck really, really quick. Her speed's about to cap as well, and her resistance is not far behind that. Like I said, she's one of the best units in this game. She just is. Alright, so who do we want to have the boss kill? That's going to be the important thing. I think... well, I don't know, because I don't. But we're going to have Erica mop her way through these guys. We'll see how much XP she gets off of them. Because I am kind of interested to see. And then we will decimate this guy in a single hit, because that's what Ephraim's good at. So now I can actually give Erica a silver sword, now that she's reached A rank. That'll help with her damage output problems, for sure. Do some more barriering. Never enough barriering. Like I said, this is one of the best ways to level up your healers when they have some free time. Also because it gives a nice decent chunk of XP. It's like 17 as opposed to 10 or 11 from a heal staff. Restores give nice decent chunk of XP as well. Ow. Alright, that could have gone better, I think, but that's alright. We'll just heal him right back up. Might as well have them barrier each other, because that's always fun to do. And we'll have La Rochelle dance, or dance for La Rochelle, I should say, not have her dance. And she can barrier up Mulder, because it looks like he might have actually needed it. Forget, he's a bishop with really low resistance, and that's odd. But resistance is one of those things that can be very easily fixed, so... Let's take this guy down, we'll use the rapier to do it. And that should get Erica up to level 17, no problem. I hope. Yep, there we go. Some more strength would be nice. Nope, alright. Skill, speed, luck, resistance, I'll take it. She's at a decent amount of speed. Alright, so that was a skirmish, everybody. Sorry for the anticlimactic episode there. That being said, I think we're just going to re-outfit her with a silver sword. I'll have her keep the iron one, probably drop her rapier for a more repaired version of said rapier. But that being said, we're going to jump into Chapter 16 in the next episode. So, that being said, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This has been Seraphin. Stay classy, internets.